Okay, here's an overview on the features of our new Lynx magnetic sweeper for skid steers and compact tractors. We have it on a subcompact model now, which it's perfectly compatible with if you have the universal adapter plate style connection point, which is the same as like a skid steer. This just hooks on quite easily, just like a bucket. You go in, click your safeties down, and it's good to go. It's 19.5 inches from the top of the adapter plate to the bottom, so that's for easy setting of the sweeping height. Roll it all the way back, and then set your arms. For skid steers, as low as they go. For tractors, you might need to keep them up a little bit just because tractors generally go lower. So yeah, you set your sweeping height. We recommend 2 to 5 inches. And if you have your debris digging rakes attached like this is an optional piece. You want to keep it rolled back if you don't want to use your rakes. And if you want to use your rakes, you just roll it forward as you're driving, and that'll put your rakes in the ground. But we're on grass out here, so we wanted them up so we don't tear up the nice grass. So we just kept it back, and we're sweeping it that way. So obviously, as you're driving, you're going to be going over terrain, and you're going to have to adjust the height. So that's done just using your lift arms on your tractor. Go up, go down, just adjust the terrain as you need to. It's not completely necessary because this magnet touches the back of the housing here. So what that does is it prevents any nails you collect from getting wiped off if you do hit the ground. So they'll just snap around to the back of the magnet. And then, so this is a 4.5 by 4.5 inch magnet, the same as a lot of our hanging magnets that we sell, the same like style housing. And that uses the same clean off method as our Meerkat and Sakoki models, where it's just like emptying a bucket out. To clean off your magnet once you've collected all your debris, you just roll the piece forward, just like emptying out a bucket. This will swing away from the back housing. It's kind of magnetized to the back, but once gravity takes over, it'll swing away, and that will let you release all your debris. So the unit is 68 inches wide. It weighs about 350 pounds, so good to use on most small tractors. I mean, if you have a tractor smaller than 350 pound lift capacity, you're probably not looking for a piece like this anyways. So this is generally for farm use. If you got a contracting operation that's got some metal to clean up regularly and you have a skid steer or a tractor, something like that, this is going to be a great option for you. It's fairly inexpensive, it's fairly light, it's easy to transport. You can move it around without power equipment if you want. It only weighs 350 pounds. And on the bottom, it's got a nice thick aluminum skid plate / debris pan. So you can skip it off the ground if you want, and it shouldn't break anything too quickly as long as you're not ridiculous with it. So other features of it, like I said, 68 inch sweeping width. It will pick up a 2.5 inch nail from a height of 8.5 inches. So you can have this, the bottom of this pan, 8.5 inches off the ground. And if you put a 2.5 inch nail on it, it'll flick it up and it'll catch it. So that's why we recommend the 2 to 5 inch sweeping height, because that'll give you good power for picking up most debris. We did pick up our 70 pound I-beam with it, 70 to 80 pounds. We haven't weighed it yet, but we will someday. And it picked it up no problem as long as you were touching the I-beam. So it does have a lot of holding power. It just, like I said, it's a smaller 4.5 by 4.5 magnet, a bit lighter duty than the rest of our skid steer magnetic sweepers, but it does a great job. We've been using it for the last week or so, and it really does a good job of cleaning up areas quick. We were at a landfill, it cleared easily 100 pounds of nails in the span of an hour. We had pulled out of the construction site. Out here, it's obviously not as contaminated as a construction dump. So we have been picking up some nails, but it's been nothing too crazy. And so this thing, when you purchase it from us, it does not come with this piece on the front here. This is our debris digging rake setup. These are 5/16 spring teeth, 8 pairs of them. They are 5/16 spring steel, so when you push them into the ground, they'll dig in about 1 inch. And that helps to, if you got like a rutted gravel parking lot, that's gonna help you to smooth it out, number one. And number two, it lets you know where you've already been. And number three, if there's any debris that's kind of stuck in the ground at all, or been run over a couple times and it might be 1 inch down, it'll flick it up and then it'll get caught by the magnet back here once you drive over it. And on the front of that, we got our kind of a mud guard type material. That's just to prevent any stones from going flying if you're actually using the rake on gravel around cars or something like that. So you don't want to be, flicking cars or rocks into a windshield or something. So that's why we got this here. But this is an optional piece. It just bolts on. There's no real adjustability to it other than the roll of your position of the hydraulics. So you roll forward, it'll dig deeper. You roll backwards, it'll dig less. And this just simply bolts onto the sides, and you can just leave it on here. Because like I said before, it's perfectly operational with it on. If you don't want to use it, just roll the thing back. This magnet's strong enough to just work off the back corner, and everything will pick up like that. And yeah, good little unit. It's got a nice little sticker of a cat right there. That's pretty key. So we always have nice little animals on our equipment. This one's the Lynx, so it's just a little kitty cat right there. And general rule of thumb, you don't want to scratch this. If you scratch this, the thing's not going to work anymore. The whole thing, like everything will delaminate, the nice powder coated frame will crack, and you're going to have to order a new sticker. So yeah, powder coated frame, heavy duty steel, lots of aluminum and steel, sturdy construction. We've hit it off the ground many times and it's still going. We've only been running this one for about a week, but it's got no real signs of damage so far. It will collect some rocks inside this pan, but easy enough to get out. It's just like a bucket. Just tip it forward, all these rocks are going to come flying out. And if they don't, you just get someone to sweep them out. It's not that hard. There you go, Lynx magnetic sweeper by Blue Streak Equipment. Find them where all good Blue Streak Equipment magnetic sweepers are sold.